Alright guys, Simple Lynn back at it, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Today we're gonna go take a trip to a bee farm. See, I first met Jim, which is the owner of the bee farm, buying honey from him, fresh honey, and one day he invited me to go out and check out the whole process. A bee farm is formerly called an apiary. I never imagined myself putting on a bee suit and heading out to an apiary and just letting bees swarm all over you. It was magical, at the same time a little frightening. Doing these type of activities, you really learn how to appreciate nature. Alright guys, so follow me and let's listen to what Jim has to say.
Don't know what they're doing, they'll overdo it. It rained yesterday, so I used pine straw and it's a little damp. But fortunately we're not doing too invasive today, so we won't need a lot of smoke. Which is good because it doesn't look like it wants to stay lit. Go ahead and move in on the smoke too. Take a peek at them.
Wow, it's actually beautiful.
Plastic see-through, so you can see through it, but it also has a cavity. It causes them to make comb and honey.
Yeah, honeycomb.
And we'll get the bees off of this and you can try it.
Yeah.
Get off there, dude.
Wow. Oh, this is really good, Jim.
Yeah. You can actually eat the comb. Eat the whole thing.
I almost ate my finger.
Yeah, I robbed some frames of brood out of here and they're just combing these back up. You want to keep them tight.
Yeah. For what reason? Like really tight, right?
Yeah, and I've got them a little spread out. They made a wonky comb. It keeps the queen from laying in the honey super. These are 2 brood boxes. And this is the honey super. You can kind of see in there.
Yeah.
Comb it up.
That's the honey super?
This is a lid, but this is the super.
This is super.
So you got the top, the bottom, the brood boxes, queen excluder, keep her from laying eggs in there, and the honey super. This was a swarm that I caught.
Oh wow, this was nice.
And it's probably ready for honey super as well. I'm not gonna dig around in these, but it's kind of cool this morning. But
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find a queen to show you over there.
Why would you not want to dig around when the temperature's a little chilly?
Well, this one's got like, if you want to look at that one,
Yeah.
it needs a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an 8 framer. There's 10 and 8 frames. When they're about 70% full, you just want to put a brood box on them. I just don't want to disturb them, but it's not that cold. But if it's really cold, you can shock the bees, and it's not good for them. It's not that cold. Tomorrow's going to be cold enough to do that. So I won't mess with them. This is a nucleus hive.
Nucleus hive.
Basically, I took a queen cell and 5 frames of bees, and the queen hatched. She got mated, and today I'm checking to see if she's laying.
Okay.
So it's basically a starter hive.
This is a starter hive, okay.
Yeah.
Would other bees join other hives?
Not really.
Not really?
I mean, they can, but in general they don't.
It's not normal, not common.
Wow, they're, you know, if a swarm of bees lost their queen or something, they're not going to go join a hive, I wouldn't think.
So what will happen? They'll just die off?
Yeah. We'll start down this end because that one's a little pissy.
Which one?
The one on that end.
The one that end? How can you tell?
Just because
The flight pattern?
I've got experience with them.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a little bit pissy, but you guys gonna let me in here today? You're gonna be pissy.
You said on these you'll be able to see the queen?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow. Wow.
These big ones, you see the bigger bees?
Yeah,
Those are drone bees or male bees.
drone bees.
See her?
That's the queen? Oh, I see her. Yeah. I do see her. She's big. Is typically the queen always the biggest one?
Yeah, they have. So that's a drone. They're pretty big too, but they're shaped more like a bus.
Yeah.
And the queen is slender. She has a longer abdomen.
Yeah.
She's skinnier.
Yeah.
And there are eggs in there. I don't know if you can see the cloudy, milky substance in there.
Yeah.
To turn it just right.
Those are eggs?
Yeah. When they're a day old, they're standing up and they look like a grain of rice, a small, tiny grain of rice.
Yeah.
Day 2, they lay down. Day 3, they hatch and they're smaller than they were on day 1. And then the difference in all these are worker bees, the smaller ones, except that's a drone, that's a male. So these are all female.
Yeah.
The drone's a male. And when they want to make a queen, they just feed the worker egg for female. They feed it royal jelly, and they make queen cells. That's a queen cell that hatched.
That's the queen cell that hatched.
Yeah. And they just tear it down.
Yeah.
So that's one, and it's laying.
So how long will the starter get to that level over there?
In about 2 weeks, I'll probably put it in the hive.
Okay.
And I'll need to change that frame out. So it's a junky frame. See how it doesn't have the tip on it?
Yeah.
When it's falling down.
It's falling down, yeah.
Be real careful because the queen's on this one.
Yeah.
This box is a little tight for my liking.
This was pretty big right here.
That's a drone.
That's a drone, okay.
Lost her. She's hiding somewhere.
The one with the all black back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I see that. Oh wow, this one's bigger, no?
It's ready for to go into a hive.
To go into a hive, okay.
And there's eggs in the top, and these are cat breed.
Why are some wood and some plastic?
That's what I had.
That's just how, okay. So it doesn't make a difference, right?
Not to me.
That's okay. This one's not as ready as the last one.
No. When
you look at this, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for fresh eggs.
Fresh eggs? Okay.
I don't know if you can see, but in here is the day-old eggs.
Day-old eggs?
Tiny little grain of rice standing straight up. See a little white dot in there?
Ah, I see it, yeah.
And it tells you I got to weigh and clean, so I don't need to go any further.
Yeah.
I just put it right back.
Okay. There was a lot of white dots there.
That one has some eggs in it. These are older. They're probably 4 or 5 day old eggs.
Yeah, I see them, yeah. What about when they're a little darker over here? What are those?
That is actually pollen.
That's pollen, okay.
Yeah, it's like green and orange.
Yeah.
Green pollen.
Okay.
These are pretty chill. A lot of pollen on this side. I would expect there'd be a lot more eggs in this frame here.
The one in the middle?
Yeah. That's 4 or 5 day old eggs.
You can already tell how many day old eggs are. That's
yeah, on the bottom there's 3 or 4 day old.
Okay.
So these are 4 or 5. And the black queen that you saw, that's a Carniolan queen.
Carniolan.
And I have about half and half Carniolan and half Italian.
Italian?
Let's see if I can find you an Italian queen. You take the queen out.
Yeah.
And you come over here and you graft eggs. And then you put that frame of eggs in there. And the bees are queenless, so they'll make a bunch of queen cells. And that's how I make queens. As long as you go nice and slow, they're usually not too pissy.
You can't make too many queens. That's not a good idea, right?
You can sell them.
Oh, you can sell the queens, okay.
And before they hatch, I usually make like these nooks up, and I'll put 2 queen cells in there just to make sure, give myself a better chance. Put 2 in there instead of 1, because I make a bunch of them at a time. So, and then when they hatch, it takes them about 2 weeks after they hatch, they'll start laying.
Okay.
So these have been in here 2.5, 3 weeks, so I would expect they're all laying. Did I look at this one? No, I didn't.
No.
So I got this one and the one on the end. That's got a little bit of nectar. The shiny stuff is basically they'll cap that and make honey. And then the rest of that's just pollen. Sometimes they get eaten by birds or dragonflies or whatever.
Yeah.
Hit by a bus. No, there's eggs in here. That's pollen, but in between is eggs. That's a queen cup. They like to practice making queen cups.
Yeah.
And if they put an egg in there and close it up, it'll become a queen cell and eventually a queen. See her.
Have you heard about those like robotic bees that they're making? Yeah. And that they can pollinate, not the same, it will never be the same, but they can pollinate like bees.
Yeah. Is it maybe that in Israel or something?
I don't know where exactly,
I think so.
but I did see something about that. What do you think's the future on natural bees?
I don't know. I just know it's a lot tougher to raise bees now than it was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
A lot of things against them.
Mm-hmm.
Habitat loss, varroa mites. This is an Italian queen. See how she's more orange?
Yeah, I see that. She's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Some eggs in there.
Yeah.
A little bit of honey, a little bit of pollen.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So far we're 100%, right?
Yeah.
We're chill now. I wouldn't count on it. They might be pissy because they don't have a queen. Who knows?
Oh, they're pissy because they don't have a queen?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay. So when there's no queen, there's no purpose,
Yeah.
Oh, I see. They came out fast.
Yeah, you want to zip your jacket up. You might want to walk away and zip your jacket up. Do you know how to zip it?
I zipped it up.
No, you ain't got to zip it.
No?
I'll show you.
Okay.
I have gloves if you want them, but you should be okay. Are you allergic to bees?
No. I've been stung probably 4 or 5 times in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got stung 4 or 5 times yesterday. None today yet.
So yesterday they had no queen.
No, I'm not saying that. They're just pissy. They probably have a queen and they're fine. But
Okay.
sometimes when they get pissy, they might not have a queen. And all I would do is add go in that big hive.
Yeah.
Grab some fresh eggs and
Yeah.
a frame of fresh eggs and throw them in here. I don't see any eggs. Oh yeah, she's laying eggs. I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah. Yeah, I see them, the white ones. Yeah.
Let's see if I can spot her since I'm out here.
How do you know she's on this, or you don't know?
I don't.
Okay.
Let me get in the sun a little bit. I can see the eggs better. If you tilt it a certain way, you can... I don't see any eggs in there. That's the first frame though. They usually don't lay them. No, it's the second frame. Cat brood, a few eggs. I don't see her. If I hold it and look down like this, she usually sticks out. But I don't see her. But there are eggs in there.
Yeah.
See it? Pretty white in the center.
Does it ever get completely filled with eggs? That's not really a thing.
Yeah, they're pretty full.
Pretty full?
She just learned. All these guys are just learning.
They're just learning, okay.
Yeah.
And how long is the learning curve?
Oh, I mean, they'll lay 2 eggs in a cell sometimes, and you really don't want that.
Are the majority female bees?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens to the male bees?
They mate and die.
They mate and die.
Yeah. What a life, huh? I didn't see the queen, but I know she's in there. I saw her egg.
I just can't grasp the idea that you like catch a swarm. I don't even know how that works. I can't picture it in my head. You catch it like with a net or?
So they're really docile when they're swarming.
Yeah.
They'll get into like this bush here, and I'll just take my, I call it a nook box.
Yeah.
I'll take a frame of brood out
Mm-hmm.
and put in the nook box with some empty frames,
Mm-hmm.
comb, and just shake them in there and close it up. Now leave the mouth open because a lot of bees will miss, and then if the queen's in there, they'll all just march right in like you saw the video.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get up higher. And like yesterday, I had to get in the back of my truck and get a pole with a bucket on it, and I kind of shook it and bumped it, and most of the bees went in there, and I shoot them in the box, and then the rest of the bees,
They follow.
well, some of them went back up to that, and I just grabbed the limb and shook the bees out.
Yeah.
And eventually they all went into the box.
Yeah.
And the reason I do the brood is I used to catch swarms and just put frames of comb in it.
Yeah.
And about half the time they would leave. And then my mentor told me, he said, hey, just put a frame of brood in there. You're giving them a reason to stay.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to leave the brood because they got to stay on the brood to keep it warm so it'll hatch.
Yeah.
And that seems to work out really well. So that concludes our business for today. So I put on the one super. That's really the only hive. Well, I've got a couple of hives here.
Mm-hmm.
I need to put a super on the other one. And then we're 100% on our nooks. In other words, they all mated, came back, and started laying eggs. So that's good. I'm happy.
That's good.
And then people want to start a colony, they'll buy these nooks.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of them that are ready to sell now.
Yeah.
And then a couple of them are probably 2 weeks out.
And then they just start the process you have over there.
Yeah, you don't want to sell them to somebody, and then you want to keep them here long enough to say, hey, they've been laying for a couple of weeks and they're through practicing and they know what they're doing. Because sometimes they get mated, but they don't get mated well.
Yeah.
And they don't lay very good.
Has your family been doing this, or how did you learn how to do this?
My uncles did it.
Your uncles, okay.
But my roommate from college, he has a couple thousand hives.
Oh, you did tell me the one in California.
Yeah. He takes his bees to California to pollinate the almonds, and he's a honey producer in Homerville, Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I'll give him a shout out. I'm trying to remember. Honey Sweet is the name of the company, I think.
Okay.
Or Bee Sweet Honey, something like that.
This is definitely one hell of an operation you have.
Oh, this is just a small.
It's a
yard.
small.
This is just basically my nursery.
Yeah, it's a nursery. Yeah. Yeah. This is my first one, and it's definitely unique.
Well, if you want to ride out someday. Pull all those poles out, burn it, and then he'll plow it up, and I'll plant tomatoes and corn and squash and cucumbers and okra.
Mm-hmm. You'll burn the poles?
No, I'll pull those poles out.
Pull the poles out.
Yeah,
and then you just burn all the soil?
Yeah, and then I'll come back. And I put poles around the whole edge, the whole perimeter. I pulled some of them up already. Then I put electric fence to keep the deer out.
Yeah.
And then the poles that are in the middle, I'll put a cable across there for my green beans to grow across. So I'll have to come out in the summer, man. Pick you some vegetables.
Thank you. This is.
And my bees will pollinate it for me, so the garden goes pretty well. I use the quail poo to fertilize.
Everything just goes hand in hand here.
Yeah.
This is what I like to call a sane life.
Yeah, and the deer actually knocked over my feed trough for my quail, and they ate all the quail feed, so I got to go buy some more today. I've got a little bit. They ate a good bit of it.